Building your confidence is not easy, but it can be. Hey everyone, Party of One podcast. This is a podcast about self-improvement, self-awareness, self-love, and everything in between. Like I told you before, I'm not going to confine myself just to that. And honestly, life is just self-improvement. So let's get into the video. Position yourself as the authority. Think about it like this. If you are an athletic coach, what qualities are you looking for to build a strong team? And not qualities as far as like speed, endurance, qualities like team player, compassionate. Apply those same traits and qualities to yourself. The kind of person that you want to see yourself operate as, you need to possess those qualities, and that's going to take doing work. Say, for example, you want to be a more compassionate person because you are just so hardcore or you're so closed off, you have so many walls built up. That's great that you've acknowledged where your faults are at. But keeping yourself there is not going to help you get to the level of quality and traits that you want to possess. Start challenging yourself to act more like people you see that possess those qualities. So if you're watching your favorite TV show or you're listening to a podcast or you saw one of those skits on like Facebook where someone could have really acted out of character, but they didn't. If those are kind of traits that you want to possess in your daily life, you have to think about what did they do in those moments when they were facing those adversities. If someone is like yelling at you, screaming at you, you just can't take it because you know you're like hardcore. Do the opposite of what you want to do. If your response is to like scream and come at them, stay silent. Give yourself 5 seconds to not say anything. No matter how hard it is, you have to continue telling yourself that this is going to be beneficial to me in the long run, even if it doesn't feel like it right then and there. Positioning yourself as authority can really change a lot about how you see yourself and how others see you. Because if you're only thinking on a scale of an employee, you're only operate as an employee. If you think on the scale as the CEO, as the boss, you can start acting like the boss, making those moves, figuring out what do they do to keep themselves in the frame of mind in order to operate like this. You want to think about, okay, if I am the coach on this team, I want to make sure that my team has compassion. I want to make sure that they have speed. I want to make sure they're laser focused and locked in on what the goal is. And I want to make sure that they have fun while doing it, that it's not just all work, no play. Positioning yourself in authority, if you want to have all those qualities, you need to think to yourself, what do I need to do in my day-to-day to make those things to make those things happen. If you don't know where to start, this is the best place to do it. You have a world of information. Social media is a world of information. You can literally type after this video, how to be more compassionate. You're going to get millions of results on what to work for different people. And then you just find what works for you. Maybe you click on 3 or 4 different content creators and you're like, no. But you find the 5th one and you're like, actually, I can do that. I can implement that baby step into it until it becomes a habit. It's literally a marathon, not a race. Just because you decided that just because you figured out what the goal is, does not mean that you need to achieve the goal tomorrow. It just means that you know what the purpose is. You know why you're doing it. Now you have to figure out the steps in order to do it, and then the consistency and the motivation and the determination to continue to see it through. It's so many levels to it. It's like you're seeing this video, but a lot happened before you were able to see this finished product. I had to record this. I had to take time out to record this video. Then I had to spend an hour uploading it. Then I had to send it to my video editor. Then I had to get it back, upload it and schedule it out. And now you're viewing it. There's a process for everything. So if you put yourself in the space and knowing that it's steps, no matter what I do, there are steps. It could be the simplest things. Take my vitamins. You got to get up, go to the cabinet, take the vitamin, drink the water, and leave. Those are steps. And that's going to be applicable in every area of your life. And so people in authority spaces they are kind to themselves and knowing that it's going to take time, because the impact is more important than how fast you get there. Longevity is key. Lasting impact is key. Quick results, they leave as quickly as they came. So you have to make sure that you are genuinely okay with the process. Not just, and you'll have to literally fake it until you make it. You'll have to tell yourself, oh, I love getting up and going to the gym. Oh, I love drinking water. I don't know what it is for you, but you have to literally lie to yourself until it's no longer a lie. Because remember, you know how like you used to be in a like preschool or kindergarten and you tell a little white lie, and then you kind of have to keep up that lie because someone brought it back up because they thought it was the truth when you told them. Just like use that for good now. Apply that to your life positively. Lie to yourself that you are healthy. If you don't feel like you want to get up and do anything, like you're stunting your own growth, lie to yourself and tell yourself, I cannot wait to get out of bed tomorrow and go to the gym. I cannot wait to go to work and provide value so that I can open up my own business. You have to tell yourself, and I'm just being honest, lying to yourself, faking until you make it, it's all the same thing. However it reads best to you in order for you to continue doing it is how you should continue saying it to yourself. As long as it's positive, it's working. Be sure of who you are now, but be open to evolving as well. So say you want to be a content creator. You don't really know the content that you want to do, but you just want to start creating. Produce the content and be open that 6 months from now, you can be in a completely different headspace around the kind of content that you want to create. That's how this podcast happened. I started this podcast on TikTok. It wasn't even a podcast. I started this podcast on TikTok maybe 3 months ago, and 3 or 4 months ago. And I just wanted to start one. I said this before in my previous videos, but I always thought podcasts would read better, views would do better when it's 2 or more people. Then I realized either A, nobody wants to do the podcast with me, or B, anyone that does want to do it with me, I don't feel like our visions would align with the kind of content that I would like to produce out, with the kind of social media presence I want to have online. I wanted to provide value, and that is where I felt best doing it, was just with myself. If a year from now I decide to do and branch off and do more with the podcast where people are involved, great. But it started with an idea of just making a podcast. And then eventually I realized, well, I'm on a self-awareness journey. I am consistently wanting to provide value in my day-to-day, so why not share the things that have helped me to help others get through their days? Hopefully it reads like that, but essentially at the end of the day, I am evolving into the person that I currently am and also want to be. So being open to evolution, being open to the thought process around who I am today is not who I'll be tomorrow, and it definitely won't be who I am next year. We're constantly changing. And as someone who does not like change or used to really hate change, that was a tough pill to swallow, because I was thinking to myself, like, if things could just stay the way they need to stay for a while, I'll be good. But then I'll never grow, and I'll essentially just provide the same content every day and do nothing with that. So just being open to the change is the second way that I realized building confidence has really helped, because it shows you're adaptable. It shows that you can really be in a space of, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing and I don't know what's next, but I'm here for it. Taking it on. You don't know what you're doing half the time, even if you know what to do. Something new could pop up just because you've done something 50,000 times over 3 years. Something new could pop up today that really presents a challenge for you. You just happen to be lucky every day that it doesn't. But on the off days that they do, every once in a blue moon, being open to that evolution and being open to tackling that problem is going to allow you to be in a more confident space in how you operate and present yourself in life. Soak in information and provide value when applicable. If all you're doing is taking If you're in a take mindset, I just want to soak everything in for me and just apply it for me, that's not going to work. You want to be a genuine, authentic person. And if you don't, and you're not right now, that's fine. You realize that. But the great news is that you have a chance every day, every second actually, to do and be someone better. So once you know to do better, do better. If you backslide, that's fine. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. You're not this perfect being. That's fine. But do something about it. Soaking in information is important because it allows you to be 10 steps ahead of the game than if you were stubborn in your own way, trying to get it done your own way just because you don't like help. You don't like accepting help. You don't like being taught something. It can be challenging to understand where people are coming from, especially if they're presenting the information to you in a way that can either be triggering or either be in a way that maybe you haven't experienced it before. Listen to the message, not the person saying it. Listen to the message, not the person saying it. You will go so far in life. Because it's a challenge for me, this is like a revelation for me as well, in thinking there have been some times in my life where I have focused on the person saying it more so than what they were saying. This person could put me 5 years ahead of the game within my business or, within the kind of person I want to be. But because I decided to focus on who was saying it versus what they were saying, it's now going to take me 7 years, or it's now going to take me 2 more weeks than it would have taken me if I would just listen to the message. So think about it as I need to soak in all the information, even if I know it, because sometimes someone can provide a different perspective of that information that gets you ahead of the game, that puts you in the space that you want to be in. And then provide value when applicable. Provide the value that will put you in a space of, I'm consistently learning for myself. Not only am I intaking the information that I'm getting, but I'm also providing value because I'm doing the work on the back end to expand knowledge that I'm providing value for. And be honest and know that you don't know everything and that you don't know what you don't know. So being open to information and being open to life will really build that confidence. It'll allow you to soak in and find value everywhere, because there's value everywhere. Just because someone's a CEO or someone is a Fortune 500, owner, doesn't mean that those are the only people that provide value. The janitor down the street at your favorite local coffee shop, they provide value as well. There are some lessons in life that they've been taught that maybe the CEO that couldn't have possibly known. People's life experiences will really add value to your life. So listen sometimes. I struggle with this still. Sometimes it's hard for me to be like, okay, I get this. I know that. But, I don't know that. I knew that when I was 16, but do I know that when I'm 24, 34, 48? Life has happened around us, and sometimes we just need a reminder to things that we did know at a different age and a different season in our life. That will help you build your confidence 10 times. That's why I wanted to make that the midpoint. Soaking in information and providing value, because it's always going to be a take and receive, a receive and take. It's always a mutual exchange of value through both people or through both groups. Putting yourself out of your comfort zone once a month until it becomes once a week. Your comfort zone is killing you. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Staying in what you know is not good. It's great when you've mastered something or when you feel really comfortable about doing something, but really challenge yourself to do more. Not all the time. I'm not saying subscribe to hustle culture, because I don't even subscribe to hustle culture. I will never think that doing something at all hours of the day, no matter what, is going to get me further. Longevity and impact is key. Longevity, impact, and intentionality are my 3 words of this year. While I want to produce as much quantity as possible, as much quantity as I produce, I also want the quality to be there every time. So if that means I don't post a video 1 week because I feel like I didn't have anything to say, Like I told you before, okay, the people that need to see it and the people that need to hear it will hear it. I'm not doing it for the numbers. I'm doing it because I want to provide value. Putting yourself out of your comfort zone just puts you in a space of like, I mean, you really feel like you're taking action and building your confidence. Say, for example, if someone is so petrified at eating at a restaurant alone, say you want to go to, I don't know, Olive Garden, get a table yourself, go eat lunch. Like, it sounds like, oh my gosh, it sounds so easy when she says it. And a lot of things are easier said than done. But putting yourself in a space of I can do anything and then doing it will boost your confidence 5 times more than if you would have just thought about doing it and then didn't do it or delayed the action. If you have the thought, do it. I actually prefer to eat by myself because I'm able to think, like I'm with myself. I'm able to think about new ideas for the podcast. I'm able to spend time with God. I'm able to, maybe I do call a friend. Maybe I do FaceTime my cousin. But those are all things that I'm able to do just because I decided to get out of my comfort zone and do something different. It creates different emotions. It creates different, it creates a different perspective for yourself. You start seeing yourself in a different light when you're able to do things that are uncommon or, stigmatized to be just so nerve-wracking. I want to eat alone once a month, once a week, so that I know that me being with myself is enough. It reiterates the self-love within myself too, to know that I don't have to always go out to eat with someone, or I don't always have to go to the movie theaters with someone. Sometimes I just want to enjoy my own company. You want to talk about building your confidence? Do things that people usually do with people alone and see how much you grow. You will be wanting to travel to different countries by yourself just because you decided to eat a pizza by yourself one Monday morning or afternoon. Pizza in the morning doesn't really sound, pizza's good at any time of the day. Point is, building your confidence means getting out of your comfort zone. Lastly, believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, why should others? If you negatively talk down to yourself, why should people positively lift you up? You have to think, what am I feeding myself? And why do I deserve the opposite? Feed yourself positivity. Life is hard for everyone. You don't know what a person's going through. Just because they present on the outside that they're fine, you don't know. Internally, it could be a them versus them battle. They could be in their head so much that it's just detrimental to them sometimes. Or sometimes they have a family life that's rough that you don't know about. That's fine. Like, life happens. But it happens to everyone. And you have to put yourself in a space that I know what the circumstances and the obstacles look like now, but the faith that I have in myself, it goes over that. It doesn't need, like, what my circumstances look like right now, they look like that. But the faith and the belief that I have in myself that I'm going to win looks like this. It goes back to last video. The heck? It goes back to the last video that I made. Be delusional and do it scared. Being delusional is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Doesn't mean, like I said before, being delusional and being irrational and irresponsible. It means being delusional and by believing in yourself. Our parents, most of the time, hopefully have, I don't know what your situation looks like, so I say hopefully, have our best interest at heart. But you have to understand we're in a new generation. We're in a new era. We're in the digital era, which means it's a lot easier to obtain things that maybe our parents' and grandparents' generation wasn't as easy. So yeah, it's going to feel like if you present your visions and dreams to them or someone close to you, that it's unattainable when they present all these obstacles. But understand that that's part of the journey. One, why are you sharing your dreams and visions with them? You got them for a reason, so they have nothing to do with that. They can maybe guide you on some things that you're doing, but ultimately, be the person that believes in yourself the most because you're the one executing it. So if you want others to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. That is the top tip I can really give towards building confidence. It's like, without anything else that I said prior to it, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can be more confident, you won't be more confident. Fake it until you make it. The lies you tell yourself, and lies isn't even the word that I really want to go with, but ironically, it's the truth. If you continue to tell yourself, I am this, fill in the blank, I am that, you are them. You have to believe that you are the person that you want to become. So I'm not going to drag this video out. I really want you guys to truly think about those last 5 steps. Position yourself as authority and figure out the traits and qualities that people have, that you want, that you possess, that help you be the better version of yourself. Be sure of who you are and be open to evolution and open to evolving into the person that you want to be. Retain information and provide value. Just because you heard something once when you were 16 doesn't mean it's going to be applicable when you're 26, 46, or 56. Life happens. You see things from different lenses and different perspectives every season. Sometimes you don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be a decade later. It can be a month later, because life is just life. Putting yourself out your comfort zone, putting yourself out of your comfort zone is going to allow you to really start seeing things aren't as scary as they seem. It's just the thoughts in my head that make it a lot bigger than they are. And believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. So make sure that you 120% believe in it, even if you don't know how to do it yet. Just believe that it can happen. So those are my top 5 tips on building confidence. Understand that it is a marathon and not a race. And if you give yourself grace there, you'll be able to see the results. Obstacles are going to present themselves regardless, but you have to be able to see the result. All right, well, I'm not going to drag this video out. I'm glad that you guys spent a fraction of your day with me. I continue to post on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube as much as possible, podcast platforms as much as possible, but understand that I only want to provide value. So if there's a week where I don't post anything on YouTube, or there's a week that I don't have a podcast audio, understand that I just want to be able to provide value. I don't want to just provide quantity over quality. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I will keep you guys updated, honestly. Follow the Instagram and TikTok and literally everywhere at Party of One Pod. I post frequently. If I'm not posting daily, I'm at least posting weekly. So I'm glad that you guys took a fraction of your day to spend some time with me, and go out there and be confident. Just do it. Nike, not sponsored, not sponsored. Oh my gosh. But it could be. All right. Go have the day you deserve. All right. Bye, y'all. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Party of One podcast. I just really wanted to take a second to thank you so much for all the love and support and the overpour in the comments. And just, although I can't get to everyone and respond directly to everybody, I see the comments and I see what you guys are saying and how you're saying it's positively affecting your life and how you're more self-aware, and your walk with God is not easy, but hearing it broken down and knowing that you're not the only person that feels this way is helpful to your journey. So I'm grateful that I could be a vessel of wisdom through God to help translate some of those thoughts that you guys may be feeling from time to time. But I just really wanted to thank you guys. Party of One podcast has gained over 10,000 followers in the last week from one video. So I'm grateful. Grateful is really to say the least. So I just hope to continue providing value and hope that it can really be applicable in your life in the best way possible. Follow Party of One Pod everywhere, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks again.